Right, hello, everybody. Um, what I want to do is talk about it's part of the situation that men are going through, um, with this court system business. Men tend to lose the custody of their children. Um, and it's good to see Guy Ritchie. I mean, this is 2016. I mean, this is not new news, but and also the fact that, the lad is a lot considerably older. If the children been a lot young, he'd been a lot younger, like 5 or 6 or 7. I don't think Richie would have definitely not succeeded. But it says here, this was in, you know, September of last year. But I remember hearing about it, and I was really happy that the kid had, come over to the UK and wanted to be with his dad. And the thing that I find really extraordinary is that instead of letting him go and get on with it and enjoy, Madonna lost their collective shit because the boy dared to go and stay with his dad and not wanting to stay with her as such. And that pissed her off. Pissed her off more than anything. Guy, let me read Rico's my guy. Guy Ritchie finally settles bitter dispute over Rico with ex-wife Madonna and wins custody of their lad. They had been involved in a custody dispute over 16-year-old Rico since December last year. So that's December last year, 2015. So when he was 15 years of age. Um, Guy Ritchie has finally settled this bitter dispute over his son with ex-wife Madonna and won custody of their lad. Um, Ritchie's lawyers revealed outside court yesterday that the parties had agreed the 16-year-old should live with his dad. I mean, it's just simple. I mean, he should be allowed to. Let me just close this down. There is Richie when he was married to the. Oh God, here we go. I'll scroll through. Madonna and Guy Ritchie privately came to a settlement hours before they were due to appear in front of the judge. Uh, there is a young boy. Looks like he wants to go about his own way. Woo, what's going on here? Got the mother trying to, I mean, this is a geezer now. He's growing up. He's trying to go about his own business. He wants to live with his dad. Uh, Peter Bronstein said, the case is settled and everyone agrees that Rico's needs changed and he's going to be living with his dad. So she had to give up, concede. You can't force this boy. These boys are 15-year-olds at the time, he's starting to have his own mind and he wants to stay with his dad. What's wrong with that? Everyone's agreed to that, and there's no further need for any kind of a court case. Guy, 47, Madge, 58, had been involved in a bitter legal battle before December when the teenager ignored a court order to fly back from his movie director's London home. Jesus Christ. This is the problem with bitches like Madonna, these feminazi hags. You know, they don't get their own way. They're nasty pieces of work. Nasty pieces of work. And because the boy said, no, I'm not coming back, that pissed her off. Madonna lost her collective shit. How dare you not come back? I'm ordering you back. He ignored a court order. Let's go through. Rico walked out of Madonna's tour in December and ignored a court order to return to her in New York. So there's uh, it's funny how you see this guy. He seems to love standing in this pose with his, yeah, I've seen a couple of posing like this, um, you know, with this kind of stance consistently. Um, there's a call, someone's trying to ring me. Ignore that, I'll talk over that. It is believed that Rico will stay with his father and be educated in London, with Madonna paying frequent visits. Jesus. Well, he knows his mother. Um, sorry. Let me see if I can switch. No, it's gone. Good. Right, let's scroll through. Madonna had wanted him to stay in New York with her, but he refused to go. Quite rightly so. He can make his own decisions. You know, I mean, back in the days, kids used to go to to work at 14. In the 40s and 50s, and before that. Um, kids used to, didn't want to be at school anymore, hated school, leave school at 14. I think we need to bring that kind of emphasis back into school, where children who are clearly don't like school need to be able to go into um, some form of work environment where they can learn some trade, um, mechanical trade, electrical trade, plumbing trade, telecommunications trade, alarm trade, fire trade, maybe learning how to build aircrafts, build cars. But obviously, although the 14-year-old is quite very, it seems to be some mature. Hold on, hold on. This is getting on my bloody nerve. There we go. Hold on. I'm just going to switch this up, boys and girls. This is just getting on my nerves. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just going to switch this off because it's an important subject. Let me just switch this off and then power it down. Someone else's phone that keeps ringing. So, yeah, I mean, um, you know, both party. So basically, he refused to go with her, and both parties have informed an American judge they've reached a confidential settlement. Rico is set to continue living in the UK, where he goes to school in North London. Fine. So, maybe in a few months' time or a few weeks, whatever, he may decide to, um, you know, go back to his mother. Um, Let me just scroll down through. A judge scolded the pair for making their dramas so public and not considering Rico. Exactly. But it's not Richie himself, Guy himself. It's Madonna that's making the problem. She's the one that's causing this problem by not agreeing and not accepting and just saying, "Oh, okay, fine, you want to stay with your father? Brilliant." She just wants to make this about herself. How dare you want to stay with your father and not with me? In March, at the High Court in London, this all costs money, wasting of money. Mr. Justice MacDonald told the former couple that they risk ruining what was left of Rico's childhood if they carried on feuding. Madonna has gradually rebuilt her relationship with Rico since Christmas, and he lived with her during part of the summer. They even partied together in Cuba for a holiday a few weeks ago. Madonna has also tried sorry, Madonna has also buried the hatchet, or tried to bury in her husband's head or his back, as a lot of women trying to do, with her ex, and he was spotted carrying a bottle of wine around to her London pad in April. The Material Girl singer married the director in 2000. After they divorced in 2008, so 8 years, they initially agreed that Nico would live with Madonna in the US. You see, the problem is, you've got to consider the kid. When they said that, he was a young man, a very young man, so he will do what he has to stay. But now he got to an age of 14, 15. It's like, listen, I'm my own, I'm beginning to become a geezer now. It won't be long before I'm 16. I can start making my own decisions. And so that's what he's done. And, you know, Madonna didn't like this. You know, it says, someone's commented, he is now 16. He is 16 now, and I'm sure he can make his own mind up now. She is the legal guardian of the son now. Is that nonsense? Anyway, so there's a lot of nonsense on the sun. This is from this paper. So yeah, bearing all. Brave mum shares powerful breastfeeding. Jesus, get lost. So you see, this goes for a lot of women out there that they feel that they have ultimate right over their children, and that they are the only ones that can make a decision on how children are brought up. And Madonna just didn't want to let go of this kid. You know, she still needs to use him as a to get at Richie. You know, that's what she needed. She wanted to just consistently get at him. You know, and just because the son suddenly said, "No, I want to stay with my dad. I'm not coming back." She saw it as kidnapping. She saw it twisted against her. You know, but what you've got to take in consideration, it's fair that he now wants to live with his son, his dad. He's had plenty of time with you. How many years? Probably, 14, 15 years with her. And he sees his son whenever he gets the time to go to America. And now that the boy is 15 and 16 and now wants to stay with his dad and grow up with his dad and then be able to do whatever he wants to do later on, she's not happy with it. But she's got to accept it, because at the end of the day, he is his father. He has the right to his son. Just because they're not living together doesn't mean she has the full constant access of him. You know, this is the problem with women, especially in America. Well, it's America and the UK, but in the Western world now, they feel they've got access to their son right up to the age of 18. And that the father doesn't. I don't need a man in my life. Nobody gives a damn about you. Nobody gives a damn about you, whether you have a man, a woman, or a donkey in your life. The most important thing is that the son should have access to his father. And I tell you this now, many of these stories of so-called deadbeat dads, you're always hearing one side of the story, and that's from the woman. So, like in the black community, you'll hear that, the majority of fathers are deadbeat dads. Really? We don't hear from them. You don't hear from them because they know that the system is going to or try to fuck up their life because they made a mistake in having sex with a nasty woman. Some of these guys think that the woman they're having, relationship with nice. A lot of them are just there they just want a child. When they've had the child, they supposedly don't want you anymore. And but what they want from you is the um, child support money that they can get from both the government and from you as well, so that they don't have to go to work and they can go around town enjoying drinks and going on holiday and doing all sorts with your money, with your money. So we haven't heard enough because nobody's telling the story of absent fathers. There's a reason. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. Some of these guys are assholes who up and run. But then again, is it really surprising, especially in America, black women who are in charge of the so-called community are fucking up black men because black men are being bred as attack dogs for black women, you know, and black men need to stand up and realize, don't be defending the so-called black queen, you know. It's funny how every other women in the world, especially white women, always want to be classed as princess, you know, princesses. Black women, it's queen, the hard-nosed, uncompromising queen, you that's what black women are, generally. Not all, generally. And princess is always nice and dainty and beautiful and blah, 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 all that kind of nonsense. But black women always want to take on that hard-nosed attitude of we are queens. Who is the queen? What do you mean black women are queens? Black women are nowhere near queens. Nowhere near queens. The only queen I know, the most famous one, is the Queen of England. There's another one in Denmark, the Queen of Denmark or whatever. But you know, this nonsense has got to stop. Things have got to start changing now because men are getting tired. I heard in the United Kingdom they're looking at divorce courts, looking to change, do hopefully some radical changes. Um, that will be fairer to both parties and not just be skewed to one party. Fairer to both parties. That's the most important thing. So I'm glad Guy's got his kid. He's here in the UK. He's enjoying himself. He's doing his own thing. Um, he's doing modelling, doing some. I think he's done some deliveries for Deliveroo, which is cool. So for a young lad like that, so hopefully, he'll fall into something, maybe acting or uh, directing or do something, um, because it's important for young men to know they are important in this world. The great innovators, inventors have all been men of this world. Okay, and I'm no longer interested in women's so-called issue because the last 25, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, that's what it's all been about, to the detriment of men. So we need to now start looking at the devastation, what is going on in schools today. A teacher told me, a female teacher told me that they are now they've now brought back or going to bring back end of year exams. Why they didn't do that in the first place, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I mean, nobody's going to say that girls are going to get dropped because of it. Maybe they'll improve even more. Um, maybe the boys will improve, um, and come through and do well in these exams because boys are not thick by no means. They're not thick. They're not stupid. Um, they just think in a different way to women. Um, and yes, I'm an advocate for separate schools for boys and girls. We need to get back to that kind of, the days when you had separate, you doors, boys here, girls here, and boys were taught separately from girls. Um, I think we need to get back to that kind of schooling. It'd be cool, or just have boys' schools and girls' schools, and be done with it, finish, end of story. Anyway, that's my take on it. Thanks for listening.